Okay, it's recording.
Okay.
Hi everybody! Today we're going to be building an electric bike. I've been building these for years and I've never... How does my hair look? Sorry, I need to go bald. I've been building electric bikes for years and I've never made a video on how I build them and the method of my madness. So we're going to get started. This is a Bafang 750 watt mid-drive, and the only reason I'm building this right now is because my other one got stolen because some retard thought it would be funny. So today we're building another one because that's so how I thought I'd spend my Thursday afternoon. There it is. So I'm gonna have a chair because I'm not gonna be crouching down the whole time. So first thing we got to do is we got to get the crank arms off. So we're installing a mid-drive motor. I'm hoping everything goes smoothly and there isn't any roadblocks that are going to cost me money. But you know how installing e-bike kits are, so actually you don't. So I'll tell you, they're a pain in the butt because they come from China and they're never made right. They're never made specifically to work. They're just made to be a pain in the rear end. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this whole thing apart. So first thing we got to do is we got to remove the, if you can come over on this side. First thing we got to do, over here, behind me. First thing we got to do, we got to remove the crank arm. We got to remove both of them, but we're going to start with the non-drive side. So we thread our puller in here, get it hand tight, and then you tighten this down, just like that. And now we grab our wrench, our adjustable wrench here, and we get it just right. Now when you're dealing with cheaper end bikes, this is a higher end bike, but if you're dealing with like a Walmart bike, what you're gonna notice when you're doing this is what you're gonna notice is this cheap thing will strip out. Now I don't think that's gonna happen here because I'm pretty sure these are SR Suntour crank arms. I don't know, they're not even branded, but they're probably SR Suntour, and those are actually pretty good quality. So yeah, we're just gonna remove this this crank arm here with our puller. This is how you have to do it, by the way. You have to have a puller and you have to use your foot. I tried using my hand. It didn't really work. But I'll tell you it's coming off because it's getting looser. Okay. Voila. Comes right off. And the bottom of my foot now hurts. But it's part of the process. So we gotta now take our tool out of here. Now, there's two things you can do now. First thing, you can just take this tool here and you put it in here, and you got to grab a socket to take this off, or not a socket but a ratchet. Here, our big ratchet. And you just pretty much go like this and it comes right off. Just unloosen this here. Now the actual way to say the name of this bike is Gant, but I say Giant because if you say Gant without looking at the bike or knowing what you're talking about, you're not going to know what you're talking about, or someone's not going to know what you're talking about. So what should happen now is I'm going to whack this. Yeah, we got some more work to do. So now we're going to go on the other side. So if you could follow me over here, Mr. Cameraman. We can take this off. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm sure there's because some of these, they just push out. Some of them, you have to unthread them. This is probably one you have to unthread it. So here's our tool, our chain tool, our cassette tool, cassette remover, puller, whatever. Okay, so once again, we're gonna just thread the knee. Oh, I can even feel it wiggling now. So I tell you, it's coming out. So make sure you thread it in, and do not cross thread this. You will regret it. I've done that like 5 times in my like many years of doing this, and it is not worth it. Don't cross thread it, please. And when you're tightening this down, just do it hand tight. You're just very loose, because if you do it too tight, once again, it's gonna put too much stress on them threads. So now, once again, same ring around the rosy, we're just gonna go ahead and pull the cassette off. Or pull the drive side of this thing off. And I'm gonna try not to strip out my tool. Now, we can just hold in our back brake. Just like that. It'll be a lot easier this time because we're going with the bike. Who died across the street? Nobody? Okay. Yeah, so now we're just pretty much stripping out the tool. It's not good. We never want to strip the tool. I think that was not a good sound either. Oh, by the way, maybe don't use an adjustable wrench to do this. I just kind of like thought I'd put that out there for those of you who are curious. You know what? We're gonna go get a regular wrench. I'm pretty sure this is like a 13 or a 12. I don't really know. This is a 15, and that's definitely gonna be too good. Oh, actually, that might be perfect. A 15. It's probably a 14, but I'll try a 15. Oh, the 15 is not even fitting. Is it just because I've stripped the absolute living crap out of this? No. Then I gotta go get a 16 mil. Well, that's a 16, but I'm not gonna leverage on that. This is a 5/8. I don't know metrics. I don't know how to convert metrics. All I know is if it fits on there like that, I'm gonna use it. So I'm gonna use it because it fits on there, like I just said. So all you gotta do, I'm gonna see if I can just like. It's not gonna. My goodness, what is up with this today? I have a little bit more leverage on that actually. You'd be surprised. So I was at Chick-fil-A, and I had a DoorDash order from Chick-fil-A, right? And I was in the drive-thru at the Chick-fil-A, right? And right?
Mhm.
Right? And I just bent the wrench. I bend the wrench? I think I bent the wrench. Anyway, so I was at the Chick-fil-A, and I bent the wrench. Yep, that happened. How'd I bend a steel frickin' wrench? Shoot tools. So I was in the drive-thru, and I was picking up, somebody's order, and the girl is saying to me, this is the third time I was at that Chick-fil-A that night, because I just kept getting, garbage order after garbage order. What do you do with garbage orders? You take them, because you gotta have a high acceptance rate on DoorDash so that you're the top dasher. Sorry. And so I took that order, and I went back there, and the girl was like, "It's nice to see you again. It's nice to see you again. It's really nice seeing you." She says it like 2 or 3 times. I had like tried explaining myself. Okay, I think it's just my tool that's a piece of crap. And so I tried explaining myself like 2 or 3 times. I am not here by choice, ma'am. I am here so I can become top dasher. Yeah, so the wrenches are just garbage. Oh, go figure. Well, next we're going to use a pair of vice grips. Use the vice grips to lock onto the tool. And do I have a pair of vice grips in here? I do. Look at that. I have a pair of vice grips in there. What do you know? So you're not supposed to use vice grips, but you know what? It's only the tool, and I don't really care about the tool. So happy New Year. And she had said it like 2 or 3 times, and I look back as I'm driving out of the drive-thru, and I see her like going to the people in the back, and I had said, "Oh, maybe she was hitting on me." And so immediately I text my father, and he's like, "Oh, well, maybe she's just doing your job." And I'm like, oh, thanks for killing the mojo. Okay, I am shredding this tool. Let me just see if I have another one of these before I get too far and I destroy the tool permanently. I think I do have another one of those tools in here somewhere. Well, who knew this would be the irritating part? Is finding tools at work because I'm too cheap to buy them. Yeah, by the way, if you plan on doing anything like this in the long run, like I am, well, not in the long run, but just like, you know, make sure you buy like good tools and don't buy cheap crap like I bought. It literally came with the kit, that chain tool, or that cassette tool that I'm using, the garbage one. Yeah, so back to this thing with the girl though. I was just like, oh, what do you know? Once in my life, somebody, I wouldn't even say hit on me because I don't even know. I mean, we can all hope, but we never know. We'll never know. Excuse me. Yeah, so we'll never know. It is what it is, but it would be nice if that is what she was doing, because I need women like that. And the problem with not having women is when you're a man, it tends to be a little bit lonely at times. Not really lonely, but it's like, oh, well, look at all my friends with women. Why don't I have a woman? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really try. It's kind of a personal preference to stay single because I don't got to spend any money on anybody. I like that. I don't like spending money on people. I don't know about y'all, but I'm as cheap as they get. And I hate spending money on people, especially women. Why am I going to go take a girl on a nice date and spend thousands of dollars buying her stuff and making her happy? Oh, yeah, just so she can go cheat on me. Why would I go do that? So, you gotta think of it logically. That's how I always thought of it. Why would I pay for someone to cheat on me? I could just, like, I don't know. Yeah, this is just stripping the tool at this point. I don't know what to do. I can't get this out. Yeah, so it's like, why would I pay for someone to cheat on me? Like, that is the dumbest financial move ever. Now, I will admit, there are women out there that are good. There are good eggs. Don't you dare get me wrong. Okay, I'm gonna bend the wheel by doing that. There are good eggs out there, don't get me wrong. But, I don't know about y'all, but here in Vegas, ain't nothing but a bunch of hoes. I probably shouldn't be saying that in front of an almost 10-year-old, but I just did. So deal with it. So, at the end of the day, I'm ultimately left making this decision. Well, is finding a female worth it to me? And my answer is no, it's not. I don't care that much. I care, but I don't care that much. And this is irritating me because I can't find the freaking tool. I have the tool, I just don't know where the tool is at. So yeah, I don't know, never was interested in long-term commitment relationships. And it's too much time out of my life that I gotta spend on one person, and all for what? So she can go cheat on me? Like, what sense does that make? Yeah, this isn't even working. This doesn't work. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, there are some good eggs out there. A lot of bad eggs, but there it is, found it. Oh my goodness, I found that the freaking tape. So don't get me wrong, there are some good eggs out there, mostly bad eggs, but there are some good eggs, and yeah. I guess just keep the last thing you learned here is just keep your eyes open for the good ones. You know, personally, when it comes to women, I'm into more natural beauty. I don't like women that put on 70 pounds of makeup. And I mean, I'm not one to talk. How am I able to talk about women when I'm ugly myself? But I'll tell you this. in the short term, women are looking for a guy that is attractive. That's attractive, that has curly hair, the ice cream haircut that you see commonly. That's what women are looking for now. But you know what's ironic is most of those guys have no sort of future ahead of them. They don't have any goals in life. They don't have any priorities. I mean, their priorities are nothing shy of getting high. And that is, maybe in the short term, that's what a girl is looking for. But in the long term, it's not. I don't know that. I'm just speculating. But in the long term, it's really not what a woman is truly looking for. What a woman is looking for is somebody like me who makes money by running a business, who literally dedicates his life to the grind. That's what women are looking for in the long run. They're not looking for these hipster pieces of hipster white trash. No, I'm hipster. I'm white, but I'm not even white. I'm half white. I'm Middle Eastern. But yeah, that's what I think women in today's society are looking for. What they are really looking for, not what they see on TikTok and they think is attractive. Not what they want, but what they need. And what they need is a guy that has his crap together, such as myself. I think I have my crap together. My friends and family think I have my crap together. I mean, I'm going in to be an electrician this year. I'm gonna be making some fat money. So while your boyfriend is over here working at Cowabunga Bay in the summertime, I'm gonna be out here making electrician money. And I don't know if you know anything about what electricians make, but they make some dang good money. And then you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go start my own business in a couple of years as an electrician. So then that means I'm gonna kind of discontinue my mobile bike repair business that I have now, and I'm gonna go do that. And as you can see, the tool was the problem because I just got that piece of crap off, and I almost got a paper cut, or what would have seemed like a paper cut. So yeah. Now, I'm not one to talk when it comes to what women want. I don't know. I mean, shoot, I'm out of touch with today's garbage, with the people in today's society. I'm out of touch with it. I don't really care for it. But why don't you get behind me, record? Thank you. So, but in terms of my brother here, I think I teach him some good values and good things to carry in his life, because what you don't want to carry in life, I think it does go backwards. What you don't want to carry in life is laziness. You know, a lot of the kids in his school, and he can sit over here and testify to this, a lot of the kids that go to his school are lazy pieces of garbage.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like, and he's in 3rd grade. Okay, he is the top of his class. Now, this video is most likely going to hit YouTube if you want proof of that. The fact that he's doing 8th grade iReady math as a 3rd grader says a lot about him as a character and about how us as a family, or how we've brought him up, about how we've raised him. I would say I've had somewhat of an impact on him, a little bit, right? A little bit about how you live your life, how you think of people. I've had a little bit of it, and I'm glad, because I think the way I live my life, son of a gun. I think it goes off this side. I think the way I live my life is fine. Yep, I think it was this way. Yep, it was. Look at that. So that's why I feel maybe he shouldn't exactly after me, because you gotta be your own person. But I think it's a good thing that he takes some of the things I tell him and uses them to his life. But I gotta say, people are bad. Am I bad? I don't know. Maybe. I am sometimes. We're all bad. But it's about how you reflect. Ugh, gross. It's about how you reflect upon being bad is what really says who and how you are as a person. So there's people out there, they go do someone dirty, they go scam them or rob them, and they don't give a single darn in the world. Okay? Then there's people that if they do wrong, they feel bad about it, and they really can't live with what they did wrong. I feel like I'm one of those people. When I do something wrong, as an example, let me use cussing. I used to be a big cusser. I used to cuss all the time, day and night. And I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and I believe that He died for our sins, and I believe Jesus died for our sins. There's nothing you can do to change that, because it's not even about what's depicted in the Bible. It's about what I've seen in my own life. It's about how when I ask for something to happen, in a very indirect way it happens, in a way I wasn't expecting. But it isn't what I wanted, it's what I needed. That's what I've noticed with prayer in my personal life. It's not what I wanted, it's what I needed, it's what happened. And I'm a believer simply for the fact that there's no other explanation. There's so much evidence, there's so much. I'm gonna get gloves on because this is gonna begin to get dirty. Over here. There's a lot of things that have happened in the world. There's a lot of historical evidence to back up Jesus living and Jesus dying. Maybe not direct evidence, but how can we prove that George Washington was the first president? There's historical evidence. There was eyewitnesses. The same way George Washington was our first president, Jesus died on the cross for our sins. Except it happened a lot longer ago than anybody remembers. That's why. And I mean, there's just so much evidence. I mean, you go do research on it. If you really dedicated your life to researching Christianity, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't. If you really dedicated a piece of yourself to figuring out how Christianity works, I guarantee you it'll change your life. Because you're gonna be like, wow, there's a reason for this mess now. There's a reason that we all exist. And I'm sorry, but I am a believer, and there's nothing anybody is going to change that. And I don't think anybody cares to change that, to be honest with you, because everybody in this world is so atheist. Everybody in this world hates God. There's so much evidence to God, but everybody hates Him. Isn't that ironic? You know, and I feel like it's because people don't like to live by a set of rules. But back to what I was saying, though, I used to be a big cusser. Now, if you know anything about the Bible, in the Bible there is a verse that says, I'm not going to quote it because I don't quite remember exactly how it was put, but there is a verse that says, if you use foul language, your religion is nothing to me. Pretty striking Bible verse, if I do say so myself. That is pretty much the equivalency, and this is going to be the moment of truth to make sure this whole thing is going to work or not. It's in my car. So there is a verse in the Bible that says that those who have a foul mouth or use bad language, however it's put, your religion is nothing. You are nothing to me. Your religion means nothing. Because how are you going to go around, it works, thank God. How are you going to go around cursing like a sailor, but then say, oh, you guys should be Christian. You should believe in God. You should dedicate your life to prayer. Okay, so now I'm going to ask that person who said that to me, let's say I'm just a common atheist, but you cuss all the time. The Bible, any atheist knows, the Bible's very specific about foul language, about bad things like that. It's very specific. It's very cookie cutter about everything, and it makes perfect sense in the way it says it. And if you disagree, go do some research. Go do some research, you bum. Really? Tell me what is and isn't in Christianity. I'm gonna have to reroute this cable, by the way. And honestly, though, you know, when another Christian if another Christian was to stop me and tell me something about Christianity, I'd listen to them, and here's why. Because they're probably right. Because there are people that know more than you. there's a lot of people that know more than me. And you know, when I was younger, and I think this is every young person, when I was younger, I used to look at those people that told me things, and I used to say, oh, you don't know nothing, get out of here. And I used to say that specifically to my father, our father. I used to say that to my dad, oh, you don't know nothing, get out of here with that crap. And maybe not like that, because if I did, he would have slapped the ever-loving crap out of me. This guy's always driving aggressively. Reminds me of myself. Anyway, yeah, so I used to just kind of blow my dad off when he would tell me something. Now, I look back and I'm like, wow, that man was right. He was right. My father is right about so many things, it's not even funny. He's right about more than I think he's right about. We'll put it that way. And in a way, it's pretty cool. It's like, wow, my dad knows. He's a good man. I adore my father, and that's who I strive to be like. Maybe I don't want to make the same life choices as he made, because we can all admit, including him himself, his life choices were not the smartest. They were not the smartest by any means. They were not the smartest. And I mean, it didn't turn out bad for him, but he didn't exactly do everything he probably could have done. He wanted to get into accounting. Instead, he is a dealer at $3 million in casino. I'm not ragging on him. Hey, he makes a living. He owns a house. You know, he's got a family that loves him. Who am I to say anything to that? Good for him. In a way, I applaud my father. Good for you. Another thing is the fact that my father has stayed in our lives this long. He never took off. He never left us. He never divorced my mother, as crazy as she could be sometimes. That's kind of surprising, I gotta say. I'm extremely grateful my dad stuck around all these years. And by all these years, I mean my whole life. He's always been there. There's never been a time where dad wasn't there. Right? Mm-hmm. You've been alive almost 10 years. He's been your dad for 10 years. There's never been a time that he hasn't been there when we needed him. You know, through every bike wreck, through every failed report card, everything. He was just always there. He's just such a good dad. You know, and it doesn't matter what you do with your life and career choices. If you're a good father, a good role model, who cares what you do with your life? That's his choice. Hey, he makes good money. My mom don't gotta work. You know, we do good here. I'm not gonna lie, my mom, she worked very hard for a very long time, so she has earned her, in my respective opinion, my mother has earned her right to kind of retire. So long as, you know, we don't need money around here, which we really don't seem to need money. Let the woman live. Let her enjoy life. And, you know, and I might not be on good terms with her right now, but she's still my mom, and at the end of the day, I still love her. I may not like her, but I love her. You know? Yeah. You know, she hasn't been a bad mother. I don't know those times that she has been, but there's far worse out there than mine. I will tell you that. I will tell you that. There are far worse mothers out there than my mom. There's mothers that do drugs. There's mothers that drink. There's my own grandmother. Her mom was an alcoholic. I mean, it don't get more real than that, man. No, our parents, that's one thing I've always been grateful for. No matter what they do to us, they've never left us. They've never not been there. Like really, they've always been mom and dad. It's never been stepmom, stepdad. It's never been, oh, let's go have fun and get drunk. They've been parents. They've been parents and they've been responsible, and they've been good role models, and they've done good for us. In terms of being our parents, they've done good. So yeah, they could have done a little bit better. In their personal lives, but once again, who am I to talk? I haven't even started my life yet. Ah, where is that stinking cable? Can't find it. So yeah, no, my parents, our parents, yes, they are both of our parents, they've been very good people. They've never been bad or, they've never been bad to us. They've always been, oh, that's afraid. That's definitely not good. They've never done us wrong, ever. Not that I know of. I mean, shoot, when I was going to apply for a credit card a little while ago, I was thinking in my head, I saw this scene in a show one time where the parents had maxed out or had opened a credit card in their 5-year-old son's name, and then they stupid people, they max it out on a hot tub and whatever. I forgot the name of the show. I'd probably remember it if I saw it though. I saw this clip sometime. I was like, oh my gosh. And when I walked in the bank, I was just in the back of my head thinking, can you imagine if my parents had trashed my credit when I was a kid? I mean, that would be just horrible. But no, they never did stuff like that to us. At least to me. I don't know about him. I guess we'll have to find out when he gets older. But if anything, they've been more responsible financially with him than they were when I was a kid. You know, like I said, you know, they foreclosed on their house in 08, so I think they kind of learned their lesson about the whole money deal when they had that foreclosure on their house. And yeah, you know, and another thing is I was there for that. Like, I literally had to live through that. I remember being 3 years old. How do I remember that? I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. I remember being 3 years old, and my parents, they got this, and I remember because they were worried. They were really worried. You know, they were having that talk with each other. They were like, what are we going to do? They got a letter in the mail saying that they had to be out of their house by, I think, August of 2009. And in 2009, you know, that's when, you know, that whole foreclosure thing happened. So yeah, August of 2009, they had to be out of their house, out of the Fort Sedgwick house. And I mean, they were worried. You know, I remember. I mean, I was three years old, and I remember them having that conversation that day. That must mean that conversation was a little bit relevant, right? You know, that must mean that memory was a valid memory. It was there. And I remember when they foreclosed on it, they took all their ceiling fans. They took the refrigerator. They took like everything that. They even took the frickin' garage door opener. They took everything, and for good reason. It's their stuff. Yeah, they took frickin' all their stuff out of there. All the appliances. Well, the appliances that belong to them. But yeah. Oh my goodness, thank God I finally got that cable in there. It took so long. Yeah, can you imagine if that had fallen, how mad I would be? I wouldn't be mad, but I'd just be like, ugh. But yeah. So 2009, you know, that's when there was, well, the crash was in 08. I don't know why they didn't foreclose until, because my mom lost her job. That was why it took a bit to come back. Yeah, I remember that's when my mom... What?
That's when Mom lost her job at Chevy.
At Chevy, yeah. It was 2009. Or 2009. And they were barely making ends meet until they lost the house. And then, obviously, you know, when you foreclose on your house, it trashes your credit. Oh, it is a death sentence to your credit score. Yeah, so they foreclosed on the house in 09. and we had to move. We had to get a rental house, which is when we moved over here in Henderson, because they lived in North Las Vegas, up by Farm and Tule Springs, so like up by Durango and 95. They lived up there, and so then we had to move over here. So we moved over there by Acacia Park, El Rio Court, back in, like I said, 2009. So we rented that house for like a year. And I forgot why they left it. No, I remember why. Because the guy that owned it, his name was Neil. We called it Neil's house. The guy that owned that house, he had grass all in the front, or all in the backyard. And, you know, my parents, you know, they didn't have any money back then. They couldn't really afford to pay for the grass. So my parents had told him, well, you know, we have to go, because we can't afford this. Like, we literally just foreclosed on our house. So so they ended up moving here in this house about 15 years ago. It was July 2nd of 2010. 14 years ago. We're coming up on 14 years we've lived in this house.
Mm-hmm.
So July 2nd of 2010, we moved in this house. I was barely 4. I remember this house vividly. The day we came to look at it, I remember, you know, the office room. I remember when we toured the house with the realtor back in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I want that room. Obviously, I didn't get that room, because that's why I got the room behind here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So July of 2010. That's what was going on back then.
They have the old kitchen floors, the white ones.
Huh?
They have the old kitchen floors, the white ones, not the ones we have now.
What white one?
Back in like 2009 or 2008, they used
Oh
to.
yeah, before it was sold to the guy that had it before us. Yeah, the guy that bought this house, the second owner, the guy that had bought it before we did, made this house look so ugly. Oh my goodness, that guy pretty much, he made this place look like a dumpster fire. I do really gotta say. So, yeah, and it was atrocious, the inside of the house back then. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some surgery to the frame of the bike here. So we'll show you what we're gonna do. So, we have to drill into the frame of the bike. Now, I know this is gonna make you guys cringe to take a drill bit to an aluminum bike frame, but we're gonna do it anyway, because I don't care. So, we're gonna just kind of go like this here with this drill bit right on the corner. So we're gonna go to the car, we're gonna grab our drill bit, our drill. We're gonna do that. So yeah, like I said, you know, and then we bought this house. Or, well, my parents bought this house in 2010. Or no, we didn't, they rented it. So we were renting this place for about 3 years, and renting this place was god awful, I tell you. All the stories I have of when we rented this house. Oh. So yeah, so when we rented this house years back, it was abhorrent. It was disgusting. It was a mess. Things would break all the time. Oh God, the renter's paradise. That's what we called this. But we didn't call it that, but we darn well could have. Oh look, this comes off? I didn't know that came off. It actually pulls out. Probably not. It's probably not a very smart idea to mess with that. But that does have to be bigger though. I'll tell you that right now. to make this hole a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. It's this though. That's good. Because I'm gonna tuck this whole thing. Well, I mean, I don't really have to tuck that in. I mean, I'd like to, but I don't have to. Yeah, I don't think we have to. I think we'll just leave it alone. Now we gotta do down here. We gotta make a hole down here. So I don't remember where I made the hole before. I don't think it really matters as long as I can get the adapter through there. Yeah, so this place was a complete dumpster fire when we moved here. Oh, that fits. I think that'll be fine. Now, here's the trick to this. You have to feed this down. You have to get it in this hole, and this is like literally, this took so long before. But then again, before I didn't really know what I was doing, so that was probably what went wrong. So what you got to do this, so we're going to go off topic from what I was talking about. You have to get a piece of wire or string or something, and you have to electrically tape it to this. Now, I'm pretty sure I have some wire. Oh, I have pedals. Look, I have pedals. You know I have pedals. You take some kind of piece of wire here, and I have a piece of wire somewhere. I just don't remember where. Where I put it. Maybe over here. Yep, there it is. It's my piece of fishing wire. Actually, this isn't even for that. This is a piece of shifter cable that I have extra. This is like literally my workshop. Yeah. Okay, so back to the whole when we move. That's my mother. So when we moved here, I mean, this place was a complete dumpster fire. Like I said, you know, they got stories of how dirty it was. The weeds hadn't been cut. They said it looked like they hadn't been cut in years. Although I doubt years would have been the accurate term for the weeds, because I saw pictures. You know, they weren't that bad, but they were a good like 5.5 feet tall. I mean, they were tall. They were definitely taller than you.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been like.
It literally looked like a jungle back then. And you may ask, how do I know? Well, I looked at pictures of our house.
Because we have pictures of it. Yeah, we have pictures, and we've told you. They've told you. I don't know about me.
Back when we had that comfort taker.
Gosh. Oh yeah, the whole comfort taker air conditioning unit. So yeah, when we moved here in 2010. Had the original AC unit from I think 2000 or 99 when the place was built. This place was built 25 years ago. So yeah, 1999 is when this place was built. So the house is 25 years old this year. Wow. I thought that day would come. So yeah, so yeah, it was built. 99. So the unit was when we moved here. The unit was like what? 12 years old. Well, when we moved here, it was like 11 years old. But it was right after we bought it that the unit went out. It just died. I think they said it was like it was making some kind of weird noise. From there, it pretty much just said R.I.P. to all of y'all. And that wasn't very good for my parents' pockets because, AC unit back then was like $5,000. Now, you can't even complain about $5,000 because nowadays they're like $15,000. Yes, that's how much they cost now. When my grandma had to have hers replaced about half a year ago or so. And new unit for her house was about like $8,000. Yeah, I think the guy didn't even do that good of a job. It was like $7,900 for a new unit on that house, which for her, you know, being on a fixed income is a lot of money. But luckily for us, we knew it was going to have to be replaced at some point. So yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. We just had to suck it up and we replaced it. Now the new one, it's so nice to the power bill, it's not even funny. Yeah, the new one, almost there. Come on. Almost there. Almost there. Come on. We got this. Sucker. Almost there. There we go. And I bent all the pins in there. That's awesome. I have to request a new cable. And all the pins in there. Yeah, so you know, the house was like hardly even old at all, and the AC unit had failed. And yeah, and you know what's ironic is the neighbor right next to us, he's still got the same freaking unit the house came with, and they were all built at the same time, and it makes me mad because it's like, how did your unit last all these years and then mine lasted like half that? And for those of you saying, oh, well, you could have just had it replaced, maybe the guy scammed you. It was my dad's friend of 30 years. That guy would not have scammed us. Because he already gave him a fat deal on that new unit they put in now anyway. Not them, but he did. So yeah. So at the end of the day, don't ever buy a unit made by a comfort maker. And if you have one, well, you're ready for it to break, because it's going to break. My suggestion, if you're looking for a really good AC unit, Goodman or Amana. I'll tell you why. Grandma had, my grandma's house was built in 1978. And it had the same AC unit for 45, almost 46 years. It was an Amana packaged unit. And when I tell you that thing was a freaking freight train, that thing wasn't going nowhere. That had to have been the most reliable air conditioner on literally the face of the earth, because it went 46 years with like no problems. And even when we took it off, when we had to replace it, it wasn't even broken. It was still running. We only replaced it because, well, one, because it was having issues. The condenser fan went out on it, and I replaced it with like a used one off a similar unit from the similar time. And I was like, well, it's only a matter till this fails. So it was just really to get her by. Because I remember one day I'm at work and I call my dad to ask him something. It doesn't really matter what, but I asked him something. He's like, oh, by the way, Grandma's air conditioner broke. And I was like, what? Finally? After 5 decades? And you know, I go over there and it's piping hot in her house. I mean, it's like a good, like even the thermostat said it was like 100 degrees in the house, and she's sleeping with wet towels on her. And I'm like, woman, you gotta be kidding me. You don't call, you don't tell anyone. She's like, I called your dad, but he didn't do anything. I'm like, of course he didn't do anything. It's my dad. Why would he do something? What's he supposed to do? So, you know, I go over there and I go and, you know, I go up on the roof, and that's when I figured out, oh, the unit's broken. The fan went out on it. So yeah, that was my adventure doing that. I fixed the condenser fan, but I just wasn't happy with it. You know, it was just so old. That thing was freaking ancient, that unit. So I ended up talking her into replacing the unit, and she did it, and it was like $8,000, and now the new one works fine. He didn't do a great job installing it. I wasn't very happy with the work he did, but what are you gonna do about that, man? It's already on the roof. It already is running and in operating condition. So yeah, but yeah, you want a reliable AC unit? Go for an Amana. Them freaking things are like trains. Well, not the brand Train. They also make a AC unit brand called Train. But that wasn't what I was referring to. Yeah, so back to the bike. I'm talking about me now. Let's back to the bike. Yeah, we're making progress here. It's going. It's about to be running at some point. I don't know when, but it will be running. I need to clean that because it's making me mad. Oh, it cramped at once. Looks like tonight's not gonna be a night of door dashing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
There. To it. How long is this video? Probably like an hour, right? 51 minutes. I'll have to break it up into like 3 separate parts. I know that the computer doesn't like videos that are that long for whatever reason. There we go. Nice and cleaned up. New motor. By the way, thank you so much for recording this. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
One day I'll build you one of these bikes and you can get killed on it or something, I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but you really do never know. There we go. Check that out. Okay, so now we got the motor on. We gotta mount it though. That's the one thing. And then this is the battery, the wires for the battery. So these just kind of run up here. Back when I had this is how I had done it. You know, and then they connect like somewhere. And then like I'm probably have to zip tie it. And then you have the wires for the headlight, which I'm not gonna do that. Oh, I should do that today because I have the cord for it. Where is the cord? Yeah, and also, by the way, I'm going way overboard with this. You don't have to internally route all these cables. I'm just doing it because, well, I like doing it right. And doing it right is the only way to do it, so that's why I did it. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to run our headlight cable through the bottom here. Which, once again, we're going to have to electrical tape. I still have some on the edge of this wire here. Delicious. I doubt this is even going to stick, but worth a shot. Well, this one shouldn't be getting hung up anywhere, so yeah. So, I think I already told you all the story of my old bike and what happened to it. But I let some kids ride it, and pretty much long story short, they stole it. They thought it would be funny, I guess, and it came off. So okay. That's what I thought happened. Well, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know if this wire is long enough to go through the frame, out the bottom. So. It's probably not, based on that. Actually, it might be. It might be just long enough. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we're all human. We all fart. What do you want to do about it? Get off of there. Get off of there now. She listened. Off of there now. Okay, so back over here. Oh, look, I got a tail. I'm gonna go ahead and rewrap this with electrical tape. Our headlight cable. By the way, one of these days I'm gonna buy a gear sensor for this. I don't know when or how, but I'm going to. What's a gear sensor? It basically just pauses the motor between gear shifts so it doesn't shred the drivetrain apart. That's all that does. I actually got pretty lucky with this, how it all fit together. So now that I get it right, now I can't find the freaking cable. Ooh, my arm cramped. What a not good feeling that was. There we go. Fun fact, this is actually what electricians do a lot. They have to fish wire. Now, this isn't very hard fishing at all, but I'm just saying, this is what electricians have to do in the field, to fish wire. It's gotta be one of the most annoying things ever because I shouldn't have to explain why it's annoying. It should seem very annoying. You have to know exactly where the wire's going. Just like this one, where I got it. Here we go. Now, disconnect the tape. I honestly hope Trump wins this year. I'll be honest with y'all, I really don't care for Trump much. I really don't. And the whole reason behind it, I just don't like how he is as a person. He's just a very, I don't know, he just has a mouth. He doesn't bring peace, he just brings war. But I would vote for him because he's probably all that's going to win. Now, if I had an opinion, if I had my own opinion on who I'd vote, who I would like to be president, I would say Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now, people that know me are probably like, oh my gosh, you don't like Trump? I thought you loved Trump. Traitor. No, not exactly. I want a president that cares about our cost, our living standards. I don't care about what you do for other countries or whatever. I care about what you do for me. That's why I would vote for you. I don't care about global warming and the world is gonna end someday anyway. So all you're doing by caring about global warming is you're just slowing that process down. That's all you're doing. Let the world end. We want it to end. By golly, the longer we're here, the worse it is. Like, this crap needs to just be over. So anyway, I would vote for RFKJ. So I'm gonna call him because I'm tired of saying that long name. Because he's gonna make living what?
1 hour I've been recording.
Or 1 hour?
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I have to cut this off soon. But yeah, I would vote for the guy because he has a plan. And you know what? Another thing about him is you can just sit there and say, oh well, don't they all? Yeah, they do. They all have plans. But it's which one of the plans makes the most sense is what would make you vote for the person. This guy's plan is actually pretty cool. It's kind of to make investors purchasing homes, it's to make investors, it's supposed to make it harder on them so that they're not profiting off of the home. So pretty much what he's going to do is just tax the crap out of the investors that buy all these homes up and then rent them out. Therefore making rent prices a bit better because there's going to be nothing to rent because people will be buying and not buying because they owned a piece of garbage in California that sold for $2.5 million. No, like actually going out and buying a house. That's what we want. We don't want Californians coming in here buying up all our real estate. The sellers want that. That's exactly what the sellers want. The people that bought their home in the 90s and they're just looking for resale value. Yeah, of course that's what they want. They just want money. But how about somebody like me who wants to just be a homeowner for once in my life? What about me? Did you ever care to stop to think about me? No, you didn't. You care about yourself and your money and your profits and your tax write-offs because that's what these people want. That's all they care about. They don't care about living standards, costs of living. They don't care about that. They just care about their pockets. I strongly dislike that in people. Where it's always about just them, no one else but themselves. Those have gotta be the worst people ever. The ones that, all that matters is me and my pocket and my wealth. Those are the worst people. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that, because how do you think they got rich? By thinking about money. Just like myself. All that matters to me is money. I mean, God matters. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Christian. God matters. But on earth, money. That's all that matters to me on earth is money. Making it and everything about it. And I have no problem with that. How was you doing that? I'm gonna wire a tail light in this eventually. I don't know when. One day. I hate these wire connectors. Yeah. We'll wire this whole headlight crap another day. This is the speed sensor and this is the gear shift sensor. Now we have our shifter wire. Our shifter wire. It's like a tard. Yeah, so then this will go right there. And then back to my derailleur, where it went originally. Okay, so now we're gonna get the motor mounted on. Okay, so here's our next step. This is all our hardware. So, when you're putting this all together, here's what you want to do. You want to make sure you can access this little spot right here. So you're going to push this on, and you're going to have two normal sized Allen bolts. Like this. You're gonna just hand thread them on. Just like that, so. Okay. What a mess. Okay. Ow. So we're going to take our drill here. We're going to take a bit out of it. We're going to go to the car. We're going to grab yet another grab this thing. We're going to grab this. Oh, we're forgetting it. This. Okay. So what we do with this is, I don't want to use the manual thing because I'm too lazy. So we get the electric one and we go like this. I think I stripped it out. Yes, I did. Too bad. I don't know what to do about that either. Yeah, I completely destroyed the threads. I'll tell you right now, the old motor was way better quality than this one. We'll just have to do without that other hole. Okay, now go ahead and get this going. This is actually the lock washer, the lock nut for this thing. This is the wrench I have from my old one. They got skin. It's not the right wrench, huh? Of course it's not the right wrench. Oh no, it is. I just wasn't using it right. Well, typical me not doing something right. Okay, and then when we put the motor on, we want it facing pretty much down. It's like right there. like it to not move at all, but. Alright, we'll see if that will give me any problems. We have the actual lock ring. It's not even tight enough. Well, it's not fitting on, so it's not a big deal. It's just a little lock ring. I'd like it to fit on, but I'm sure. Okay, well, whatever. Alright, good. Now cranks. I don't really know which one's which. I don't think it matters. As funny as I say it, I don't think it matters, and then it matters. Okay. Go ahead and get another Allen on the car. Okay, well, we'll end the video because